A man's personality and character is exuded through his haircut. Your image is important. Our high-end services range from a traditional haircut and shave to gray blending, beard shaping, and unwanted hair removal. Located at 425 Victoria Avenue East. Book your appointment online now at modernmen.ca or call Tammy, 306-522-4111. Modern Men, a haircut for the modern man.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
No! Taylor writes in, he says, Roddy, why do you keep that microphone in front of your face? I find it a little distracting, but enjoy the show otherwise.
How about that?
I moved it because my chiropractor said, Rod, your neck is getting screwed because you're leaning over this microphone all the time. Can you prop it up? My chiropractor is very happy.
Oh, yeah.
You guys aren't. I don't know what to do. Been in radio for 30 years. I never worried about what it looked like.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
How about that? Welcome to the RP Show, everybody. Happy Wednesday, January 27th. And this is Canada's daytime sports talk show. I'm Rod, and he is the Moose. Darren DuPont. How you doing, Moose?
I'm good.
Good. We've got breaking news right out of the gate today. That's why I love the fact that we don't have a lot of plans on a day-to-day basis here in the event that there is breaking news. And out of the Canadian Football League, for your CFL fans, the number one quarterback, or the number one free agent rated for the CFL here in free agency coming up in a couple of weeks' time was Hamilton Tiger Cats quarterback Jeremiah Masoli. He's now off the board. That's the breaking news this morning. The 32-year-old Masoli started the first 6 games for the Ticats in 2019 before suffering a season-ending knee injury. Backup quarterback Dane Evans then guided the Ticats to the Grey Cup game where Hamilton lost against Winnipeg. I'm reading from a Canadian press story. Nowhere, I think it's just for 1 year. From Ticats head coach Orlando Steinauer, it's exciting to have Jeremiah back for the 2021 season. He is an established natural leader that has a strong work ethic. And I'm reading the breaking news right out of the gate, Dupes, because it's not even in my Quick Six show topics, okay?
That's fresh.
Always fresh. There's a fresh take. And now another thing here. I was thinking my good friend Mydale Mike, whom we had supper with last night, when this comes up, the usual 2 minutes before our stream goes live, it's, what's the poll question going to be? We didn't want to bring that up 30 minutes because we were too busy talking about other things.
Exactly.
Well, Clark wanted to talk the Blue Jays. I don't really. He brought up the Leafs, and you did too. I said, well, who's the next important free agent in the CFL? And you're like, Who are those names?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to find them, and I couldn't. So I want to have a poll from the viewers, the Rod Squad. What do you think would be a good poll? And let us know ASAP so we can tweet it and Facebook it and get on with our day.
I like
okay,
it.
are you ready?
You got about 10 minutes.
You got about 10 minutes, yeah. So this is the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Come in and warm up at the Four Seasons. You're home for the NFL. Today, we will be joined by NHL on NBC analyst Brian Boucher, longtime NHL goalie, former Tri-City American target. That's in hour one. And in hour two, Dan Seravalli, our good friend from Philly in the EnterPRIZE sports broadcast, because as you know, we've got a lot of viewers in Philadelphia watching on Game Plus TV on the, I believe it's the Altus cable system there too. All right, so that's the guess. We're looking for a poll question, and let's go with the quick six show topics, please. Number one. These, as I've said many times, this is of importance to me. I'm laughing because I feel like watching 13 games at once in the NHL. I feel like the lady at the bingo hall with 12 cards.
Yeah, and
over here.
Burning out bingo dabbers. Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Or whack-a-mole trying to watch 13 games. It's insane. Is there a way to do it? It's like going to the Briar or the Scotties and there's 4 games going on at once. It just screws up a squirrel like mine's mind. So I tried to settle in on the Jets and the Oilers, and my wife came down and settled in, and she wanted to watch Yellowstone. I'm not going to tell you how that wound out, but the Oilers were up after 2 periods, and they lost 6-4. So to the Winnipeg Jets. So I came out with my leftovers this morning of last night's games. It got a little play. They were, watch out for the Jets, man. They don't have line A, and they look better. And this might actually be a situation of addition by subtraction. Getting rid of line A might be all they needed. And then you add Pierre-Luc Dubois. It's just a cherry on top. This could be a total win-win for the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah.
So they won. And then for the Oilers, in my 5 leftovers, I didn't even have the Oilers listed, and I didn't even think anybody's paying attention to my tweets. And Lieutenant Eric from TSN Edmonton tweeted back, and he's like, where are the Oilers? Are they number 6 on your list? And initially I thought, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. That doesn't really work in the sports media business. Not having an opinion doesn't work in what we do here. So I'll just say this. I watched Connor McDavid's news conference after the game last night. He didn't look very happy. And he said, we're close. Do you know what that little voice in my head said, like the devil on this shoulder? You're close to what? Yeah. Close to asking for a trade? Close to pulling a line A or Deshaun Watson? Because I don't think, Connor, anybody would blame you. I wouldn't.
It's tough.
What are the Oilers close to? They legitimately, goaltending aside, could be the number 1 team in the NHL. They were in Canada. They were last year. They were last year.
It's true. But saying you're close, that's worse for me, because if you're admitting, hey, we're close, that means you're not there. That means you're not a playoff team. That means you're not a contender, but we're close. And you don't have what you need to get there, but you're close, right? It's different than we're just not on the same page, or we're just not putting it all together, or we're just not finishing or executing.
Yeah.
But we're close means you're not there. You're not in the group. That's tough.
I don't know. What do you mean we're close? Close doesn't mean spit. So thanks for that. Just want to mention John Ohm. Damn gong here. There. John Ohm. He says, who needs line A? And he goes on to say, Montreal looks number 1 to me, Rod. Well, we can only go by the standings, and let's roll into point 2. The Leafs rolled the Flames 4-3 last night. It was 13 games. Again, it's hard. Thank God for Twitter, because I'm sitting there surfing, actually watching the Golden Knights Blues game, which was wasn't great. And then I see somebody tweeting, what a game in Calgary, 3-3. Flip over to the third, and it was. Right? And I saw the eventual game winner. I saw the end with Jake Muzzin flip the puck at Matthew Tkachuk, and Tkachuk loses his marbles. And look, when you're dealing with what appears to be a mental midget like Matthew Tkachuk, something like that is going to set him off. And it did. So, yeah, over to you, please.
Well,
the resident Flames
it's funny,
or Leafs fan.
You know, to flip the puck at him, not a big fan of the stuff after the game.
Oh, yeah, you hate post-game trash talk.
Not
You said
really.
that.
Yeah, not really my thing. So I don't really like it, but it was kind of harmless. Put a little something at him. You knew exactly who it was that you were flipping the puck at. Like,
well, of
course you knew who it was. And it was at the end of the 2-game little mini series, so it wasn't breeding bad blood into your very next game. So I'm okay with that. But I mean, the Leafs outshot them 10-1 in the first period, dominated up 2-0. But credit Calgary. They really controlled the pace and took it to Toronto for most of the rest of that game.
Yep.
You know, came back, but Matthews and Marner, when your stars are leading the way, Gaudreau for Calgary, that's what you want, the stars leading the way, and it was the same for both teams. Highly entertaining.
I think we have a great question, by the way. Pause for the cause. Robin in Prince Albert says, here's your poll question. What happens first? 1, the Atlantic Schooners play a game. 2, the Leafs win a Stanley Cup. Or 3, Bo Levi on the RP show.
I like it.
I love it. Thank you, Robin and Prince Albert. Tell him what he's wanting, Bob.
That's a hell of a question.
I know. Can we get the Trent from Norway comment up? Do you mind, guys? He checked in a while back. Might take him a while to find it. Here it is. Norway calling. Has Brian Burnham re-signed with BC? Has Zach Evans been signed by anyone? Has Charleston Hughes been re-signed? Those are the top 3 CFL free agents. Stay well, everyone. Maybe that's what it is. I did a list, and I can't remember where it is. I did it last month. It's online somewhere, of my top 10 CFL free agents. I had Greg Ellingson in there. I had Stanley Bryan in there. He's since re-signed. Enoch Mwamba was very high on my list. I can't remember who I had as number 1. But anyways, these are the kinds of things I believe the CFL needs to have talked about in the offseason. That's what I think. But anyways, back on point. Remember that. Are you guys going to tweet it? Can you tweet it? Or does somebody have a free hand back there? Working on it, Jordan tells me. My favorite 4 words in broadcasting. We're working on it. Blues beat Vegas 5-4 in a shootout, but it was not. I mean, it ended up being exciting. It wasn't exciting most of the game. That's the one that I was watching. It was a WHL reunion on the Golden Knights bench. Most nights it is anyways, but Kelly McCrimmon was on there with his mask. Manny Vivros with his mask. I was looking for Jamie Heward. I couldn't find Huey. He might have been up in the press box. I'm not sure. But I'm watching pretty much every Golden Knights game and enjoying it. But they lost last night in a shootout. Braden Shen with a winner. Another former Wheat King. In the 3rd round of the shootout, wins it for the Blues.
I saw Jamie Heward on a picture on the bench.
Okay,
I think it might have been in warm-up, but really cool to see those guys. I mean, we worked in the league with all of them. You know, really exciting that they did that. And I like the Henderson Golden Knights on Twitter. You know, hey, our coaches, they're coaching for Vegas before they ever coached a game for us. Their first game.
How do you like that?
How do you like that? So
how about that?
How about that?
From Rob Seaton. Good morning, everyone. Oilers close? Close like a lingerie shop without a window? What does that even mean?
I don't know. But my
I think
mind's
it's funny,
wandering.
but I don't know what it means. Point 3, I wanted to say this. There are 56 games in the NHL regular season, Darren, and I was thinking of this morning. Just to give it a little context from a football perspective, if you broke the 56 games up into 7-game segments, and Kelly Rudy did that as a player, by the way, in the regular season. It works for goalies very well mentally. That makes 8 weeks, 8 7-game segments. So the Leafs have played, 6-2?
Yes.
So they've played 8 games. They are conceivably only in week 2. Now, you guys, maybe you think I'm all wet. This is how I would break it down if I was a head coach in the NHL. So nobody's running away with it. Nobody's out of it yet, right? But can we all agree it's incredibly early? You're not making any conclusions or generalizations on your own team in week 2.
That's right. No, you got through week 1. You're pretty happy. You're where you need to be. You know, and if you're looking at football in the NFL, it takes about 3 to 4 weeks, sometimes 5, to really sort out the contenders and the pretenders. So I would think once you get about, 21 games, that kind of 3rd week of 7, I think that's when you
might have an idea.
Separation, yeah.
Our friend Corey Patterson, the Sizzler, former Regina Pat down living in Tallahassee, Florida. I saw him tweet that the preseason's now over in the NHL. Let's start playing for real. And he might be right. Jennifer Illingworth watching, she says, wow, picking on the Oilers today. It was an absolute implosion in the third period last night. And look, we love Ethan Bear. How many times have we talked about Ethan Bear? Here's what I thought. You wouldn't have seen it because you're watching the Leafs game, but you're in a one-goal game. Maybe it was tied at the time. And Ethan is on the right wing boards in his own zone and zings it right up the middle and out of the zone. Turned over at the blue line. They come back and score. This is cardinal sin stuff. This is elementary stuff. I'm sorry. What did Ray Bourque say when I asked him the secret to your longevity? Can you put the camera on him? Ray Bourque, what's the secret to your longevity?
Off the glass and out.
Say that again.
Off the glass and
Say
out.
it again.
Off the glass and out. Off the glass and out. Off the glass and out.
He was a point-a-game guy. Ray Bourque is a defenseman, and his hallmark was off the glass and out. Ethan Bear, what are you doing throwing it up the middle? And I don't mean to pick on Ethan. That's just one guy. I can't believe the outpouring of sympathy to the Edmonton Oilers for blowing a game in the third period in Winnipeg last night. I see Noodles, Jamie McLennan, good friend on SportsCenter, saying, well, I think the schedule caught up to them. They're tired. You're what? You've got 18 million trainers working on your body. You got chefs. You're flying in first class. You're in your hotel all goddamn day. What the hell? You walk too much down Portage? Come on. Like, where is the sympathy coming from for the Edmonton Oilers when you blow a game like that? It's all in their head. That's what it is. They're good enough to be the number one team in Canada. Now, having said that, they still have they're in a playoff spot. I don't want to hear from the Flames fans, but if the playoffs started today based on points, Vancouver, Calgary, and Ottawa would miss. And you know what the Flames fans are saying? We only played 5 games. Just saying the Oilers would be in a playoff spot because the top 4 make the playoffs. So they're not that bad, but they can't keep blowing games. Okay? And how can anybody say that this is fine, that what they are?
You know who would have pointed it out? Every week it would have been pointed out by Don, right? Not up the middle, off the glass and out. It would have been pointed out every week. Now they kind of get off the hook. I mean, outside of their own meeting rooms, because you know it's being brought up in film. But to the country, off the glass and out.
Well, actually, I would. Brian Boucher, they tell me, is connected and watching. So Brian, he's coming up in the next segment, and we won't make him wait long. But I was talking with the WHL coach the other day. Remember the guy that said they should trade Leon Draisaitl for some starting goalie in Edmonton? He was talking about 2-on-1 as a goalie, and are they playing it different than they used to play it? And you saw the shootout last night. Guys going down early. Brian, I want to talk about how goaltending's changed. And I don't know, are you allowed to throw it right up the middle out of your zone as a defenseman? Has that changed?
It's the new NHL.
That's the new NHL, man. Quick rapid fire on the last 4 points. Scott Milanovich coached the Edmonton football team last year. According to the Edmonton Sun, he made $500,000 and never coached a game. Did you see the leader post yesterday where Charleston Hughes says his stipend from the CFL from the Riders was $10,000 last year? He was due to make $180,000. You tell me if that's fair, okay? You tell me if there's some sort of imbalance in the Canadian Football League. We got to come back on that.
Oh, yeah.
Point 5, Aaron Rodgers has basically said he's going to stay in Green Bay. So, example number 9,678, not to take a player's comments immediately after a game verbatim, where he said he didn't know if he's going to be back. 3 days later, he says he is. And point 6, Super Bowl 55 preview. We're still 10 days out, but we'll be 10 days of talk on that. And our rock star of the day yesterday was Darren Burns. He's the 56-year-old former CFL D lineman who played with Montreal, Ottawa, and Montreal, Ottawa, and Hamilton.
Yeah.
He's attempting a comeback at 56 years old. He wants to play in the CFL. What did Paul say about that yesterday? State fair football. That's 101.
Come watch the old man.
And while you're at it, swing a sledgehammer, bong, and guess your weight. State fair football. Brian Boucher next from the NHL and NBC. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus Television across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and listen live at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed. IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Hey, it's Warren Dean. I understand more than anyone how changing weather affects your day, and that's no different for your vehicle. That's why I look to the experts at Suds Full Service Car Wash. They have a wide range of exterior washes, including Lava Shield with Towel Dry. Looking good, Natalie and Kirby. And don't forget their famous Suds Ultimate. Thoroughly cleans the interior of your car. Open Monday to Saturday. No appointment necessary. Head to Suds Full Service Car Wash today, where they treat you like family.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Look like the pros. Shop Ultimate Fan Zone. NHL, NFL, MLB, CFL, NBA, and more. We have something for every sports fan. Autographed jerseys, prints, jersey stitching, custom framing, and collectibles. UFZ is your one-stop sports store offering fans official team gear. Check out Saskatchewan's Man Cave Corner on River and Main, downtown Moose Jaw, or visit us online at ultimatefanzone.ca. Built by fans for the fans.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Indeed, it is the RP Show. We got Moose DuPont with us. I'm just calling up Brian Boucher's Hockey DB because Wikipedia, somebody needs to slap Wikipedia. They don't have WHL stats on there. Did you know that?
What?
Or even mention that you were ever there. So that's where Brian Boucher got to be on my radar. Let's bring him in, if you don't mind, from New Jersey, guys, from the NHL and NBC. I was calling the games for the Prince Albert Raiders when Boucher was there, 94 to 97 with the Ams, and now then on to a wonderful National Hockey League career, now broadcasting. Brian Boucher, welcome to the program, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, Rod. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, been a long time since I called your name, that's for sure. And hey, there's so many things that we can delve into here. And I don't know if Clark told you where we are. We're in the Bermuda Triangle of the NHL, right between Winnipeg, Calgary, and Edmonton. so we don't get a ton of Flyers coverage and from the Mass Mutual division, man. So, like, we're almost 2 weeks into the regular season now. Is it too early to form any conclusions on NHL teams right now, do you think?
I think it's, I think it's a little early to say that things are set in stone. I think teams are still trying to work their way through what would have been training camp right now. Starting to see some trends, and I think we're starting to see what we thought we would see as prognosticators going into the season. You're starting to see the teams that you thought would be where they're supposed to be starting to do that. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to sit here and say after 2 weeks, this is the way it's going to be the rest of the way, I think would be foolish, just because there's so many unknowns in today's world. We don't know with COVID protocols. We don't know with injury where teams are going to be at 2 weeks from now, 2 days from now. So things can change quick. But I will say this, just from a fan standpoint, it is so fun to be able to turn on the TV every night and see 10 to 12 games on. It's such a relief to be back to some sort of normalcy. I know it's a little bit different, but it's just great to have hockey back on.
Well, this is the first year that I've bought NHL Center Ice because, as I say, we're in the TV region of those three teams. So I'm seeing you a lot now for the first time. And great job, by the way. Saw you a lot in the Stanley Cup playoffs, too, Boucher. And I should tell for the viewers that don't know, he's played for Philly, the Coyotes, the Flames, the Blackhawks, the Blue Jackets, Sharks, Hurricanes, but mostly the Flyers. So you probably get this a lot. Do you need to not lean on your Flyer alum status, or are you out of the box as, yeah, I'm a Flyer guy? Like, how is that when you're broadcasting the games?
Yeah, it's tough. It's kind of like coaching your own son. You try not to show nepotism to your kid. I try not to show nepotism to a team that is near and dear to my heart. I'm not going to lie when I say that playing for the Philadelphia Flyers brought the most joy to me in my career, is where I had the most success, greatest memories. But on this side of it now, I mean, you have to be as fair as possible. And I think you got to call it the way you see it. And when it's not up to snuff, I mean, you've got to be honest with the viewers. I think that's what they want. And maybe the true fans of the team don't appreciate that. They might get upset. But here in Philadelphia, I don't think there's any problem with that. It's a pretty tough sports town. They're pretty tough on their athletes and their teams. So I think they appreciate a little bit of honesty. I think you'd be doing the fan base a disservice if you were trying to sugarcoat things. I mean, obviously there's ways to put things and make sure you word things properly and not go after players personally, which I never try to do, because I always try to remember that I was a player, and I certainly would not have appreciated if a broadcaster would make things personal. So, and I don't think that happens very often. I think it's just a case of you just try and call it like you see it. And if the Flyers are playing great, I'll say it. And if they're not playing great, I will say that as well.
Good for you. Well, NHL on NBC's Brian Boucher is with us. And so speaking of, our show is carried on cable in Philly, Game Plus. So on Game Plus. So watch for a Boucher if you don't mind. But since I have you on the line, and I'm a goalie guy myself, we all love Carter Hart up here, right? Like in Western Canada. He's from Sherwood Park, played in Everett, played for Canada at the World Juniors, and did great. There's a lot of pressure on Philly goalies. Is that because Bernie Parent just set the bar, or why are they so hard on goalies in Philly?
Yeah, I think a big part of it is Bernie Parent and the success that he had in the mid-'70s and winning those 2 Stanley Cups. There was a saying back then that only God saves more than Bernie. So that he was, Bernie is loved here in Philadelphia. And look, since Bernie Parent, they had a great prospect in Pelle Lindbergh, and unfortunately his life was cut short, and that opened the door for Ron Hextall to come in, who was very good for the Philadelphia Flyers, but in the end, never really got it done as far as winning a championship. So, and after that, we've had a couple of close calls, but they've never had that goaltender that they can say is their own, that they developed on their own, that is a franchise goaltender. I was drafted by them in the first round in '95, and certainly did not, live up to that billing. Although I'm proud of my career, I don't think I was never a franchise goaltender. And So I think they're still searching for it. But the one thing I can say about Carter Hart is I think he has the makings to be a great goaltender in this league. He's a top 5 goaltender in the National Hockey League in my eyes, for sure. And when I look at him, I see a lot of Carey Price in him as far as his demeanor, his calmness, and what the poise that he has in the net. He certainly doesn't have the experience that Price has just yet, but with time that will come. And we started to see a little fire in him after his last start, where he gave up 6 and wasn't very happy and smashed his stick a la Ron Hextall. And I did that too in practice a couple of times, but tried not to do it in games. But so there's a fire, there's a competitiveness to him that I think maybe people maybe not aware of, but it's.
Oh, Clark says that we lost him. Remember that where he was. There's a fire in him that we weren't aware of.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know what he does back here. I should ask Clark what he tells those guys when they reconnect or so forth. How does he know that we lost connection?
Right. He's probably still talking. You never do that? You do that, right? And it's like you get on a rant and then big conversation, and you stop talking, letting the other person speak.
Still there?
And there's nothing. And then it's like, how much of that did you miss?
Yeah. Well, I've spent so many hours on buses and planes, and you tell me when Brian's ready, but with coaches, and the one thing that I've settled on when they have displays of temper like that, it's a lot easier to rein a guy in than put a fire under his butt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you'd rather have the fire. Just can you control it a little better? But the main thing is it proves that they care.
Yeah.
I meant to put this in my 10 things column on the weekend. Show me a good loser, and I'll show you a loser. But don't you believe that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all for sportsmanship, but I don't mind a little pissed offness too.
And I think that's there. I think the poor loser part is about how you show it, right? Sometimes it's bad, right? And it's distasteful. That's the post-game trash talk.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you don't go and are mad like the whole night, the whole 24 hours until you get back on the ice again. You should be. If you just fall asleep like that, there's a bigger issue.
Okay, we got him. Bush, you just dropped out when you said there's some fire in Carter Hart that you didn't know was there. And what I was filling here is that most coaches will tell me they don't necessarily mind that because it shows that you care. How are you on Carter Hart's, temperamentalness, I guess? And now we don't have sound. Oh, we're off to a great second start. You could tell that he heard us. He was listening.
Oh, yeah. And we know that happens every time when we relog them for whatever reason. The sound sometimes doesn't come back when they refresh. But, it's Carter Hart's a special kid.
Oh, yeah.
He's a special kid who's taken a really quick jump into the National Hockey League. And I thought it would honestly take him a little bit longer to get his feet underneath him. But he's already at that elite caliber. And they're already at that point where they're talking about him as, Team Canada Olympics quality 2022, that type of stuff. So, Carter Hart's that. And now we're seeing how fired up he gets. I don't know if it's something in the water in Philly, because I don't remember him doing that a lot in Everett. But he didn't really lose in Everett. He didn't really get scored on in Everett. So it's a different Carter Hart we're seeing.
Monty, watch your mouth. Let me know what's happening with Brian Boucher, please, guys, because I was very much enjoying it. But I've 1 minute, Clark says, I've really, having lived it myself, but also seen it so much, I'm just a big fan of throwing somebody into the deep end. Let them play. Like when Carter Hart went there as a rookie, let him play. What grooming are you going to do? You're not sending him to the minors. What? The shots are going to get harder when he gets to the NHL? Put him in there.
Well, a lot of guys, sometimes, though, if you go in and you play poorly, some guys don't recover from that. But it's like the Navy SEAL training. We're throwing you in. And you're either going to quit really quickly, or we're going to learn that you're going to have the mental toughness, sink or swim. So, I go back to like a guy like Justin Pogge, right? Team Canada goaltender, really great in junior, gets to the NHL, just doesn't have it, right? Doesn't get off to a good start. But sometimes if you can get put in a comfortable situation and get rolling a little bit, that momentum can snowball and you can turn that into a great career.
Okay, they're telling me that Brian Boucher is back. All right, Boucher. So, yeah, where you left off, we're saying that there was some fire in Carter Hart that we didn't necessarily know that was there. And I guess, how do you feel about goalies? Was it you or somebody else mentioned Hextall breaking his stick back? And you said you did in practice. How are you with guys showing their temper? I don't necessarily have a problem with it because it shows they care.
Well, first off, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we got that out of the way. I have no problem with it. It's one thing if a guy, snaps and flies off the handle every single day. That's a problem. Then the guy's got an attitude problem and he needs an adjustment, truthfully. But once in a while to have a little of that, situation where you snap, I think is good. I mean, it shows that you're human. It shows that you've got emotion, that you're competitive, and that you're not going to stand for, subpar efforts or play. So, and I've seen enough from Carter Hart to know that he's a calm guy by and large. I mean, 99% of the time, this guy is calm, he's poised, he's collected, he's, everything is measured with him, and he's very regimented in his approach, the way he prepares, his work ethic is, he's dialed in. This guy's a true pro, even at a young age. So him showing the emotion, I think, is good. And I think it just shows that, there needs to be a little bit of a wake-up call. And the Flyers last night played pretty good. They played against the Devils. Hart did not play. Elliott played. And Elliott was very good. But it was good. It kind of woke the team up. I thought they responded in a positive manner. And picked up a big win, to be honest with you. That was a big win for them against New Jersey. And I'm sure Hart will get the next start, even though Elliott played last night. And we'll see how he responds, see how he bounces back. The team did it against the Devils last night. Let's see how he does it when he returns to the net in the next game.
I got two last questions for you, Brian. One is, being in the bubble, the Montreal-Philadelphia series was history-making in terms of goaltending. You were there. You saw it. Like, it was if you love goaltending, it was just a delicious display on a nightly basis. Now, were you between the benches for those games in the bubble?
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah, I was. In Toronto, it was great. In Toronto, we had a great setup. I was right in between the benches. I was enclosed in a glass case. I kind of looked like I was in the Pope mobile. So I was safe from flying pucks and sticks, yet I was right at game action, and it was great. I thought the intensity was terrific. The players brought it. The safety was there, and I'm glad I was a part of it, because it was a lot of media members, as you know, that were not inside the bubble, and I think some of them were not happy about it. But I was fortunate to be inside there and get a first-hand look at everything, and it was a lot of fun. And you're right, the goaltending in that series was very good. I think it was. And it was, what was important was, for Carter Hart to win that first series in his first shot in an NHL playoffs. You don't want to go, a couple of years where, now the questions start popping up. Geez, can he ever win a series? You want to get that out of the way. He did it. Albeit it was in a different circumstance with no fans, and certainly there was an energy that wasn't there that you'd normally have in a normal playoff time. But for him to get that done against a guy that he idolized growing up in Carey Price, that speaks volumes to where Carter Hart is in his career right now.
Well, I loved when I saw it was going to be Montreal-Philly, because that was a classic 70s style matchup. And then you dig into the series and you see the goalies, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like I'm not a fan of either team. I just loved watching it so much. And just lastly, in the time we have left, Brian, as I said, I was calling the games in the dub 94 to 97 when you were in Tri. What was going on with the Ams when you were down there? I want to say that was Little Brutus time, your head coach. What do you remember about your time in Tri-City with the Americans? Good times, as I recall. Did we lose you again? I can't even see him. Did we lose you, Boosh? Okay, and now the audio's gone, so.
Well, it was a good chat.
Yeah, it was good while it lasted. Well, we got to go to a break anyway, so I say thank you to Brian Boucher, and we'll come back with a sports update, and we'll do some CFL talk as well. Whatever else is on the table today. Whoosh. We'll be back. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, live daily on YouTube, and listen live at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150 Explorer or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends. Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. And again, a hearty thank you to Brian Boucher, especially for his patience. Those connection issues are nuts. I think the most amazing thing is when I tune into the NHL games and see them doing the same things. It's not easy.
Oh, I know.
Anyways, sports update. Mitch Marner scored the game winner for the Toronto Maple Leafs at 12:14 of the third period in a 4-3 win over the Calgary Flames with his assist on an Austin Matthews goal. Marner has 2 goals and 4 assists in his last 4 games. He's tied with Connor McDavid for the league lead in points with 12 in 8 games. Nikolai Ehlers had a goal and 3 assists as the Winnipeg Jets battled back from an early 3-1 deficit to defeat the visiting Edmonton Oilers 6-4 Tuesday. The team split their 2-game series. I saw some sort of stat. I don't know about you, because so many stats being thrown at you, I can't remember what's what.
I know.
But Nikolai Ehlers tied some record held by Donald Audette and Ilya Kovalchuk with the Atlanta Thrashers. Because I forget that it's that franchise. I still think about Dale Hawerchuk and Thomas Steen and Dave Ellett and Bob Essensa. It's not the same team.
No.
And I often said, when I was hanging around the Coyotes so much there a few years ago, I'm like, you guys should just trade history books with the Jets. And you take Atlanta's, because it sucked, and yours isn't going that hot either, and just give the Jets their record book.
Yeah.
They weren't interested in that.
What's it worth?
What's it worth to you? We'll sell it to you.
Yeah.
Just because if you go to the game in games in Arizona, they got Dale Howardchuk's jersey retired, and the Phoenicians are showing up going, the who?
But
and that's their ardent hockey fans, but they aren't all ardent hockey fans.
I know. What does that mean?
Yeah, who
to
is this
people
guy?
in Phoenix?
Nothing.
Right?
I think they got Laurie Boschman's jersey retired too in Arizona.
Yeah.
If I recall. James in Morden, Manitoba says, give the Peg back their history. Can we make that happen?
I'd love
Maybe
to
they don't want it, but it just seems right to me.
It does.
Yeah.
And you know what? You don't need it officially in the books to know in your heart that that's part of your history in that town. You just want to raise the banner, though. You want to be able to put it in the rafters.
You know what I'm saying.
Of course.
John Wall scored 24 points in his first game against his former team, leading the Houston Rockets to a 107-88 victory over the Washington Wizards. Russell Westbrook had 19 points, 11 assists, and 7 rebounds for the Wizards against his former team. Shortstop Marcus Semien has reportedly agreed to an $18 million U.S. one-year contract with the Toronto Blue Jays. Semien hit just .223 with 7 homers, 23 RBIs, and a .679 OPS in 53 games last season. His 6th with Oakland, but he finished 3rd in AL MVP voting in 2019 when he hit 33 homers with 92 RBI. So the Blue Jays are in it to win it, as we all know. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room that can handle all your food and fun needs. Visit their website at ballersrecroom.com. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Well, the breaking news today, the Hamilton Tiger Cats have re-signed Jeremiah Masoli. Holy Masoli, here comes Masoli. It apparently is a one-year deal. We don't know for how much, because that's a CFL thing, as you know. But Orlando Steinauer, the head coach, said in a news release this morning, it's exciting to have Jeremiah back for the 2021 season. He is an established natural leader that has a strong work ethic, as demonstrated by the recovery from his knee injury. Now, Darren did just a fantastic yeoman's effort here in digging up that top 10 free agent list that I had posted last month, I guess, Darren?
Yeah. Yeah, it was in December.
So this was my top 10. 3downnation.com's top 10 had Masoli as number 1.
Okay.
I had Brandon Banks 1, Enoch Mwamba 2, Stanley Bryant 3, Andrew Harris 4, Brian Burnham 5, Masoli 6th, Charleston Hughes 7th, Drake Nevis 8th, Avery Williams 9th, and Greg Ellingson 10th. Off the board now, Brandon Banks is signed, Stanley Bryant's signed, Andrew Harris is signed, Masoli's signed. So my number 1 would now be Enoch Mwamba.
Yeah.
Number 2 would be Brian Burnham. Chucky Hughes would be number 3. Drake Nevis 4. Avery Williams 5. And Greg Ellingson 6. Troy Durrell, I appreciate this, Troy, writes in and he says, according to Farhan, $365,000 total plus incentives. We got to spend just a little more time on this story that I brought up about Scott Milanovich, according to the Edmonton Sun, made $500,000 last year from Edmonton without even coaching a game. Chucky Hughes took home $10,000. That's what he got from the Riders, $10,000. I don't know how that sits with you people, but it makes me feel kind of gross. And now you got Masoli signing for $365. I don't know what Dane Evans was at, but are the quarterbacks worth that much more in a pandemic when you're hacking and slashing? And I could conceivably see Charleston Hughes' pay cut being forced on him sub 6 figures. I could see that. I could see a 50% pay cut being imposed on Chucky. First, how do you feel about the Milanovich thing? Because I didn't even get your opinion on that.
I know. I don't like it. I mean, it's just, how much different is a coach than a player in terms of an organization's contracts, right?
A lot different, clearly.
When you're looking at general managers is a little different. But even still, the folks in the office that are working day to day, to run the marketing plans and keep the facility running and doing all those things. It's a full year-round job. And coaching and general managers are full year-round jobs, but so are players and training and things like that too. But it just doesn't sit well when you got a league that's failing, there's no product on the field, and yet guys who are instrumental to the product on the field are taking home full salaries and other guys are taking a haircut. It's not right. I just don't like it. I don't know that I have a solution, but it just doesn't feel right.
Hey, we're all in it together, remember?
What did we say about the storm and the boats?
We're all in the same storm.
We're not in the same boat.
I was just reading a comment on that this morning. I could go find it. It was all about all the different things people are dealing with. We all are in it together, but y'all have your own perspective on things.
Chucky's on the life raft. Milanovic was in the yacht in that storm.
Thank you.
Right? Like he's sitting there floating on a door, 10,000 trying to scrape that together.
What a great cartoon that would be. Milanovic at the wheel of a yacht and Chucky on a raft.
Doesn't even see him.
We're all in it together.
Almost runs him down.
Jack Fulton in Calgary watching, or Vulcan, Alberta. He said, Jack Fulton watching in Vulcan. Says fans pay to watch players play, not to watch the coaches coach. The pay should reflect that. Craig Campbell in Toronto watching with the poll question. What happens first? Schooners play a game, Leafs win the Stanley Cup, or Bo Levi comes on the RP show? Craig says, great question. I went with the Leafs winning the Stanley Cup. 2 years ago, I'd have gone with the Schooners option. Nobody thinks Bo Levi is coming on the RP show, by the way.
Yeah.
And if I may, before we break, Saturday night I was at Ballers watching the UFC. Spent a good measure of time visiting with Charleston Hughes there. And he's friends with Bo Levi, and he's friends with me. It's that awkward caught-in-the-middle thing for a guy like Charleston Hughes and a few other guys. And I said, you want to tell Bo that I don't have a problem with him, man? I'm just rolling with it because it's so much fun. And he's like, no, he hate you. Well, I don't care. I have enough friends. You can tell him that. But I don't care. He's having a tough time getting over it. Dan Millette says, savage poll question. I love it. Well, that came up from Robin in Prince Albert. We got to give him the credit. John in North Vancouver. I believe that Bo, one day. Oh, what? He'll be on here one day.
One day
Don't
is
hold
going
your
to be
breath.
a great day.
Don't hold your breath. We will be back with viewer takeover, maybe a face-off. We'll see. You're watching the RP show on Game Plus TV, live daily on YouTube, and listen live at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
an original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody, as we go to viewer takeover. Greg Buchanan's watching from Canada's only border city, Lloydminster. You know old Bucky?
Oh, yeah.
Chuck Wagon announcer. He says it'll be a cold day, and you know what? If the Leafs win the Cup and Bo Levi ends up on your show. But then again, with COVID, expect the unexpected. Greg Klevgard with a message for Bo Levi Mitchell. It's time to bury the hatchet, Bo. Roddy has. Oh, I'm more than willing to meet him in Medicine Hat and bury an actual hatchet in a hole by the world's largest teepee.
That'd be cool.
You on? Are you game, Bo? Apparently he doesn't want to. Remember the daily CFL report? When are we announcing that sponsor? You're the business guy.
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
But soon.
Well, the big news today, of course, was Jeremiah Masoli coming off the board, pinned by some as the top free agent. He's signed with Hamilton. The Ottawa Redblacks have signed 4 players, including all-star punter Richie Leone, who might have the best hair in not only the CFL, but pro football. Redblacks also signed defensive back Randall Evans, offensive lineman Mark Corte, and receiver Anthony Coombs. Richie Leone netted 5,179 yards on a career-high 131 punts last season, averaging 48.8 yards, en route to being named a CFL All-Star for a third time. Wide receiver Martavius Bryant, who's not played in the NFL since 2018 because of an indefinite suspension for multiple drug policy violations, has signed with the Toronto Argonauts of the Canadian Football League. He applied for reinstatement in 2019, but has not been reinstated by the NFL yet. The CFL says, come on, play up here. I guess they've tweaked that rule. Let's kick it around an hour, too. What do you say?
I'm in.
And we've got Dan Seravalli joining us from Philly and the EnterPRIZE Sports Podcast. Thank you to Brian Boucher for joining us. Thanks to you for joining us for fun. And we'll see you in hour 2 on Game Plus or right here on your favorite digital platform. I'm not this renegade rogue tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist. I'm just telling you what's actually going on.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150 Explorer or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Look like the pros. Shop Ultimate Fan Zone. NHL, NFL, MLB, CFL, NBA, and more. We have something for every sports fan. Autographed jerseys, prints, jersey stitching, custom framing, and collectibles. UFZ is your one-stop sports store offering fans official team gear. Check out Saskatchewan's Man Cave Corner on River and Main, downtown Moose Jaw, or visit us online at ultimatefanzone.ca. Built by fans for the fans.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Hey, it's Warren Dean. I understand more than anyone how changing weather affects your day, and that's no different for your vehicle. That's why I look to the experts at Suds Full Service Car Wash. They have a wide range of exterior washes, including Lava Shield with Towel Dry. Looking good, Natalie and Kirby. And don't forget their famous Suds Ultimate. Thoroughly cleans the interior of your car. Open Monday to Saturday. No appointment necessary. Head to Suds Full Service Car Wash today, where they treat you like family.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com. IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
No! Taylor writes in, he says, Roddy, why do you keep that microphone in front of your face? I find it a little distracting, but enjoy the show otherwise.
How about that?
I moved it because my chiropractor said, Rod, your neck is getting screwed because you're leaning over this microphone all the time. Can you prop it up? My chiropractor is very happy.
Oh, yeah.
You guys aren't. I don't know what to do. Been in radio for 30 years. I never worried about what it looked like.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Oh, it is. Welcome, Canada and Canadian sports fans around the world. Welcome to the RP Show. Canada's daytime sports talk show is on the air. RP here. Darren Moose DuPont there. We've got a lot to get to, so let's jump right into it. I do want to say... Hour one was on fire. We're on YouTube only in hour one. We had Brian Boucher with us from the NHL on NBC. Wayne in Victoria has just written in and said, wow, looks like I missed a lot in hour one. You did, Wayne. Breaking news from the Canadian Football League today. Rated by some as the #1 pending free agent, Jeremiah Masoli has signed with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. It's massive relief in the Hammer. The 32-year-old Masoli started the first 6 games for the Ticats in 2019 before suffering a season-ending knee injury. Head coach Orlando Steinauer saying in a statement, it's exciting to have Jeremiah back for the 2021 season. He is an established natural leader that has a strong work ethic. Anybody who's known him, has seen him play, knows all of that. But I still have Enoch Mwamba of the Hamilton Tiger, of the Montreal Alouettes, rated as my #1 free agent. So that's breaking news there. Coming up on this program, this hour, Dan Seravalli out of Philadelphia will join us. Dan Seravalli from the EnterPRIZE Sports podcast. He's outstanding. And we will get to some CFL talk, but first, let's go to the Quick 6 show topics. Please, Jordan, because we got a long ways to go and a short time to get there. Is the NHL 56-game compressed season causing a strain on anybody else's marriage? Just me? Point one last night. The Winnipeg Jets come back to knock off the Edmonton Oilers 6-4 at Bell MTS Place. One of 13 games. I'll say it again. This is me on a night like last night with my NHL center ice. It's like the lady at the bingo hall, and don't get at me for saying a lady, but it's just in my mind, that's what I see, with 12 bingo cards, right? And a dabber in each hand.
Yeah.
Bonk, 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 bonk. That's me, flipping through the channels, trying to keep on top of what's the best game. I can't. Now I see why our director of scouting, Craig Smith, has 5 TVs set up to watch football. And you could realistically keep your mind on all of them.
Oh, yeah.
So anyways, it's after 2 periods last night, and the Jets-Oilers game's like tied or 1-goal game, and my wife comes downstairs with a bag of popcorn. When I say downstairs, into the living room with a fuzzy blanket around her, and it's, you know what that means.
Time for Yellowstone.
It's Yellowstone time. And I'm like, it's a 1-goal game. What do you think we watched? Yellowstone. So I missed the Jets comeback. I knew I would catch it on the highlights. And actually, I caught the somewhat scathing analysis of what happened to the Edmonton Oilers as to how they just let the game get away. And you can look at it one of 2 ways. Another huge team-building win for the Winnipeg Jets. Like, look out for the Jets. But with the Oilers, I don't get all of the sympathy, the outpouring of sympathy for the Edmonton Oilers. It's like a damn peewee team in terms of what people are saying. Oh, the schedule got to them. That's what our good friend Jamie McLennan Noodles said on SportsCenter. They were fatigued. Too many games. What? They've had how many months to get ready for this regular season? They're flying in first class. I just think fatigue should not be a factor for any pro athlete anymore. Come on. Compared to what the players... I haven't officially become that guy, have I? We used to go by train. We used to play 5 games in 3 days. Well, I'm not saying that. But those that say goalies can't play on back-to-back nights, come on. Come off it. I know I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent here, but we're making excuses for the Edmonton Oilers. I did watch enough of it to know they completely unraveled in the 3rd period again, and Connor McDavid said after the game, we're close. My question is, close to what? I think they're close to their season going up in smoke. That's what I think they're close to, but I digress. I'm sorry. There's my rant. Let's go to point 2.
Yeah, let's do it.
The Leafs won at the Flames 4-3. Jake Muzzin shooting the puck at Matthew Tkachuk at the end of the game. Hilarious. These 2 games and 3 game sets are becoming like little playoff series, right?
Yeah.
Rivalries are getting built up and ill will. But you're the resident Leafs fan. They're the number 1 team in Canada, the Scotia North Division. So are the Praise going to go down Yonge Street, Front Street, what?
I don't know yet. We have our next meeting. I think it's in 3 weeks.
The planning committee.
Start planning. Love to have a board seat, right? I'm on the committee, but no, it was good. They came out and played like you expect them to play in the opening period and really dominated. Shots were 10-1. Then they sat back, and Calgary, took it to them for most of the rest of that hockey game. But there's enough firepower there that they were able to score, and those are entertaining games when your stars, Matthews and Marner, are getting it done on one side and Johnny Gaudreau on the other side. That's what you want in a hockey game. So it was wildly entertaining, and the puck move, I mean, Muzzin knew exactly who he was flipping that puck to. Make no mistake about it. But I still don't like it. I don't like the post-game trash talk. I think it's cheap. I think it's unclassy. I'm not a fan of it.
Leafs are cocky, but it will be their downfall in the end. So the only reason that I'm cheering against the Leafs is because they got enough fandom in here between you and producer Clark, and I know you guys will be partying forever, never letting me let it down. That's the only reason. Somebody's got to cheer for the Western teams. That'll be me.
There you go.
And speaking of the Vegas Golden Knights, Canada's team came back from a 4-2 deficit to tie it up against the St. Louis Blues, went to a shootout, and they lost 5-4 to the Blues. Braden Shen, the former Wheat King, scoring in the 3rd round. Kelly McCrimmon's first game as a head coach in the NHL because the Golden Knights coaching staff had to self-isolate due to a COVID scare. So the craziness continues. On to point 3. Hang on. Jeff in Winnipeg says Matthew Tkachuk is going to be the most hated man in the Scotia North Division. Going to be? Who's number 2?
What team does he not have a beef with now?
Who's even close to being the most hated compared to Matthew Tkachuk? He already is. Stop the presses. Breaking news today. Thanks, Clark. After 7 seasons and 2 Grey Cup championships as a member of the Calgary Stampeders, offensive lineman Shane Bergman has announced his retirement. Jeff, the Stamps fan, is already all over it. Jeff says, not surprised about Shane Bergman. This was coming. It's coming with like half the current CFL players, by the way, but hang on. Point 3 to me is, if I was an NHL coach, and maybe some are doing this, I would break the 56-game schedule into 8 7-game weeks, 7-game series, if you will. I know goalies do. A lot of goalies do that. Kelly Rudy famously did that. And if you did that, teams are only in week 2 of their season. The Flames are only in week 1. Would you make a generalization or a conclusion on your team based on being in week 2 or week 1? So there are no conclusions to be drawn here. But when I say the Oilers are close to losing their season and going up in smoke, it's because of nights like last night. It's the exact same thing that cost them the problem with the series with Chicago. They're not learning anything. It's like the Dallas Cowboys. When I knew in week 4 their season was over, remember when I was saying that?
Yeah.
Oilers, that's what we're close to, Connor.
In terms of the overreactions, I mean, the Dallas Stars, the Florida Panthers, they're both 3-0. Are they playing in the Stanley Cup? Can we anoint them as playing in the Stanley Cup final? Probably too early for that still. But yeah, I like that. It's still really early.
Robert Kazakov watching. He says Patrick Laine is at the U.S. consulate doing his paperwork right now, according to TSN's Pierre Lebrun. Can I say this? The Jets haven't missed a step without Patrick Laine. And I know I said this last hour, but this may be the most ultimate example of addition by subtraction. And I love me some Laine. I love watching him. He seems like a great kid. But if you don't want to be here, you don't want to be here. That is a cancer that you need out. So you got rid of him, and you're already better. And then you got Pierre-Luc Dubois coming in, who is a proven player. This could be... Are we declaring the Winnipeg Jets the winner of the trade today? We are.
Works for me.
Works for him. Moving on. Point 4. The Edmonton Sun reporting. Terry Jones, by the way, no less, reporting that Scott Milanovich, in his 1 year as head coach of the Edmonton Eskimos, made $500,000 without coaching a game. And I'm just putting that out there. I'm not really willing right now to make it's an observation. It's not like it happened. I don't know what his pay cut was if he took one, but Charleston Hughes made $10,000 from the Saskatchewan Roughriders in 2020. Will the imbalance that has plagued the Canadian Football League ever be addressed, Darren, or is just this is the way that it is? With Shane Bergman retiring, well, of course, he's not getting $500,000 like Scott Milanovich. Of course he's got to retire. I got players DMing me all the time saying, Rod, do you think we're going to play? I got this opportunity. But I'm like, don't come to me. Ask your agent. Ask your dad. Ask your coach. CFL's got a lot of problems, man. Is Alan the intern, the Asian sensation here? We were having a chat this morning. He brought up the term smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors works okay until a pandemic hits. The smoke's gone, and you got to look in the mirror, and that's where the CFL is at, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just addressing it again here in the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Come in and warm up at the Four Seasons. You're home for the NFL. Is this a like it or lump it situation for the CFL, or is something legitimately wrong here?
There's an issue. You wonder if he got the whole $500,000 or if there was a pay cut, right, for Scott Milanovich. It makes it awfully tough to go to government with your hands out asking for money, to pay full salaries. Like, we're not interested in helping you out to pay full salaries. We're helping you, pay for the bare essentials. It's like, donating food to the food or giving money to somebody for food who really needs it, and they're out buying lobster. Like, no, I need you to feed your family. The essentials here. We need to make sure everybody gets fed, not one great meal. Then you're going to go hungry for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be responsible. You need to show that you're responsible financially. Now, I don't know that he was getting the full paycheck, and it's not Scott Milanovich's issue at all. But it's a massive imbalance. It's an issue.
Back to what you said yesterday. This isn't anybody's fault. There's no blame to go around. It is what it is. Who's calling me while I'm on the air? What a day. Anyways, from Todd Pinkney, one of our viewers, Rod, you are not technical support for players in the CFL. There's an inside joke there, as you know it. Our viewer, Todd Pinkney, came to me about the fact that the Come On betting app was not working. Our official betting partner. I had to tell him I'm not technical support for Come On Canada betting. Don't tell me. But the thing with the CFL players, this has been going on for a long time. Look, we've been on the air every day talking about the CFL, writing about the CFL, tweeting about the CFL. It's only natural the players would come to the visible person and say, Rod, what do you know? And me given my age and the gray around my temples, so they're saying, what should I do? Do you think I want to be in that position? That's a lot of pressure. What am I supposed to say? No? I'm the one that they see every day. I'm the one that they feel safe with. And I'm not getting after you, Pinks, at all. It's a larger discussion, right?
Yeah.
But when people come to you for help or guidance, what are you supposed to do? I guess you could say no. That's not me.
No.
Point 5, Aaron Rodgers to stay in Green Bay. This, to me, is just an open and shut case, and you were nodding your head when I addressed this last hour. After the Packers lost in the NFC Championship game Sunday, right after the game, Aaron Rodgers said he'd have to think about his future. I don't remember the exact quote, but it got everybody thinking he wasn't going to be back in Green Bay. And then it was yesterday. He was on Pat McAfee's show, our buddy Pat McAfee, and he said he'll be back. He sees no reason why he wouldn't be back. Well, that was 48 hours after the game. It's another reason why I don't miss play-by-play. Interviewing guys after a game live, particularly coaches, but some players, they're blackout. You know what I mean? They're not even thinking clearly.
Yeah.
Which a lot of media is like, great, we'll get them to say something they regret. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not comfortable doing this interview right now because they say things they don't mean, and particularly in the high-profile nature of professional sports, they're going to hold you to that. Fortunately, in the case of Aaron Rodgers, he can go on Pat McAfee's show and just calm everything down. But you see where I'm going with that. They should never have put any stock into what Aaron Rodgers said right after the game.
Well, he said that there's a lot of people with uncertain futures, and he's one of them. You know, and it's not up to him. He's got 4 years left on his contract. It's up to the organization if they want to start the rebuild and move on. But he's, you know, he did say on Pat McAfee's show that he just came off another run to an NFC Championship game, MVP season. We just won. It's like, I don't have any reason to believe that they wouldn't want me back.
Yeah.
And we don't either, right? Why wouldn't you want
Maybe he was mad at his coach.
You know, yeah, you know, and for disappointed that you lost, right? Anytime you lose and you didn't get to the top of the mountain, then obviously you're not good enough. And so things have to change. Maybe that could be decide to break it up and start the rebuild. But when you're that close, it's hard to give away and give up another chance to get there. And with Aaron Rodgers, you've always got a chance to get there.
John in Edmonton, John Kirby says, Rod, you got yourself in that position with the CFL players. Just accept it. I have accepted it, but I just know there's people out there going, how come they're calling Rod? Why aren't they calling me? You'd have to ask them. It might be a little something to do with the fact they trust me. From Bob in Grand Prairie, Rod, you keep referring to the Vegas Golden Knights as Canada's team. According to my friend Google, the St. Louis Blues have more Canadians. So what? It's all marketing. It's all a shtick. You can say whatever. How about Beyond Chicken Nuggets saying that they're chicken, but they're not. They're a plant. It's all marketing. There's no chicken in them, but they say they're chicken nuggets.
I can't believe it's not butter.
No, it's just marketing. They're still Canada's team. And point 6, Super Bowl 55, we'll be talking about a little later on. And whatever else comes up. Plus the CFL report. And the Prairie Mobile text line is obviously open. 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. But we're going to get deep into the National Hockey League and whatever else comes up with our good bud Dan Seravalli next from the Enterprise Sports Podcast in Philly. You're watching the RP Show across North America, all 10 provinces and 31 states. On Game Plus Television, live daily on YouTube, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends. Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. RP Show continues. Episode 409 of Canada's daytime sports talk show continues, coming to you out of the bunker here in Western Canada. Shoot, we're still talking about the 13 games in the National Hockey League last night. I haven't even looked at tonight's schedule. We're going to go down to Philly now and join our buddy Dan Seravalli, beauty from EnterPRIZE Sports Podcast. The Flyers were going up against the Devils last night. I know we'll get to that. How you doing, Dano?
I'm good, Rod. How you making out?
I'm doing good. It's like minus $1 million up here. How are things in Philly weather-wise right now? You wearing a scarf out of doors or what? How's your winter?
It's not too bad yet. It hasn't been too bad today. It's pretty overcast, a little bit of rain, but yeah, not too bad. I think it's about 45 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is Celsius, but yeah.
It's a little above 0 Celsius, so yeah, it's cool. It's good. It's good. But hey,
it's a light day for Canada.
Well, it's a T-shirt weather. Are you kidding me? It's tanning.
Yeah.
It's turned into be a bit of a Philly day, right? We had Brian Boucher with us last hour, and now yourself from the EnterPRIZE podcast. And the first time that we talked on this show, there was no NHL, right? We were talking about if the NHL gets back and what it's like in Philly when the Flyers play. Now we're into it. We're in week 2. I've reasoned it in the NHL. If you break it into segments, what's your assessment of the Flyers so far?
Well, my assessment goes up and down with the Flyers because last week I felt good about them. They started out hot, and now Carter Hart is not looking like he did in the beginning of the season. So there's some inconsistencies there, and I know Brian Elliott played last night. They got the win, but like I said before, the Philly fans, they never stop jumping the gun, and they've done the same thing with him. Now they're getting on him because he looks a little bit slower. They're saying he doesn't look like he did last year in the playoffs, so it's an interesting time to be in Philly. That's all I can say.
Look, I'm looking up the schedule, the standings, but also the temperature. I think you know Todd Pinkney. You probably conferred with him. He's like Philly's biggest fan in Saskatchewan. He says that's +4 Celsius, what you got right now. He goes, that is flip-flop time. Flip-flop time. But look, Dan, you follow the Canadian media. You follow us closely, and you see that we're all just going nuts about the Scotia North Division, and it's awesome. Every night's a heavyweight battle, right? Oilers, Jets last night. Flames, Leafs. Now, you guys are in the Mass Mutual Division. Am I right on that?
That is correct, yeah.
Okay, so is it as exciting there on a nightly basis with the rivalries?
Yeah, it is. It's just weird. This whole year's just been weird. It's just like the no fans thing to me. I feel like you notice it the most in hockey. Would you agree with that?
Of course. Well, yes. Ish. I'm still watching. It hasn't turned me off, but I'm really starting to think that it sucks without fans more and more as we go along. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed it the most with hockey over anything. I've been watching a lot of college basketball, like the Sixers I've been watching, and football. Well, football now has fans, and they're probably going to have fans in the Super Bowl there because being in Florida really just kind of breaks all the rules. So, yeah, the Super Bowl looks to have it's like $9,000 a ticket I've seen, but yeah, they will have fans there.
Well, listen, you brought a Super Bowl. Roxanne Theros from Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions, one of our great partners of the program. She says, that is a nice Eagles shirt. Are we segueing to the National Football League now? Do we want to go there now?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so what is your take on the Eagles firing Doug Pedersen and the fact that they've still got a headache there in their quarterback room with Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts? Like, what's your read on the firing of the coach? Let's start there.
Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, the coach should have been fired, but the general manager should have been fired before him. Howie Roseman over the past couple of years has been a monstrosity with drafting players. Their talent selection has just been completely off the wall and just passing up on guys that are now superstars in the NFL. So we've started a petition, and we're walking around Philadelphia and trying to get as many signatures as we can for the Eagles to fire Howie Roseman. So that's been our goal as of late. He needs to go. So, yeah, with the new hiring Nick Sirianni, I don't really know too much about the guy. He's been under Frank Reich, who was here when the Eagles won a Super Bowl. He's been the guy's offensive coordinator for the last 3 years. So we're going to see. Like I said, I really don't know too much about him. Trying to be hopeful, but like you mentioned with the quarterback situation, it is an interesting time.
Dan, I can't get off this. Okay. You just won a Super Bowl 3 years ago. What's with you Philly people? You're on Doug Peterson's butt. You're on Carter Hart. Like, you know the reputation of Philly fans. You're there. Do you realize the reputation of you guys? Like, why are you so hard on your people?
Because we expect to win all the time, and it's just how it is. It's just the Philly fans are just very impatient. I don't know if it's just a Northeast thing. I mean, Boston just continues to win every other year. But the Philadelphia fans, we're always starving for a new champion. And, yeah, we're very impatient, as you can see.
But my point is, I'm not sure that that's working. I mean, is there a statue? No, it's not. That's my point. But is there not a statue of Doug Pedersen up out front of the link? Or like I heard that. Was that a joke? Or did they put one up there after they won the Super Bowl?
No, I believe it's out front of the practice facility. It's not out front of the link. It's him and Nick Foles, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Viewer Greg Klevgard says the Eagles fans are planning an insurrection. Oh, boy. You know what he's talking about there. But, are they that fired up in Philly with their football team? Are they that upset that the team missed the playoffs this year and were miserable?
Well, I think you have to be. I mean, you look at how well Carson Wentz was a couple years ago and how things actually were just 3 years ago. Like you mentioned, they won the Super Bowl 3 years ago, and they go now to having the 6th pick overall in the draft and winning 4 games, or was it 5 or 4 games? It doesn't really matter. Either way, it's pretty terrible. It's a pretty bad downslide to where they are now. And I don't blame a lot of coaches for not wanting to come to Philly and have to deal with this. The owner gives no control to the coach, and he gives it all to this guy who's the general manager. And this guy is just he's a bonehead when it comes to evaluating talent. And again, the Eagles have passed up on so much talent, and they're in the place where they are because of it.
Dan Seravalli with us from the EnterPRIZE podcast in Philly, and the RP show is carried in Philly on cable down there. I got a few more questions for you. I got a real whiz bang coming up at the end, but can you give us an NBA? We got a lot of Eastern Canadian viewers, huge Raptors fans out there, Dan. You mentioned the Sixers. Like, I almost had to go back and check to make sure they were still in the league. I know they got Joel Embiid and they got some stars there, but your take on the Sixers season so far and where this franchise is going?
The talent's there. They've made some upgrades in the offseason. They drafted the guy from Kentucky. His name is blanking for a second, but they've added Seth Curry. They've added some other three-point shooting. Well, the Raptors' former player, Danny Green, he's on the squad now. So they've surrounded Embiid and Simmons with some perimeter shooters, but Ben Simmons just is not blossoming into the player that the Sixers thought I think he was going to be. He doesn't shoot the ball enough, and I'm not saying he's not an all-world talent. It's just he has not taken that next step to the superstar that they thought he was going to be. Embiid, on the other hand, Embiid's just unbelievable. The Sixers can't win if Embiid doesn't play, and it's shown this year they're 0-4.
Yeah, no, Mick Panko writes that, and he says, trust the process. What are we talking about here, Mick? The Sixers or just sports overall? And I guess as we continue through the Philly sports.
The process. Have you heard about do you know about the process?
No, tell me about the process.
Okay, so you haven't heard about the Okay, so the process all started with Sam Hinkie, the former Philadelphia Sixers general manager, when they drafted Joel Embiid. And, they tanked for all these years, and then it became the slogan, trust the process, when they were starting to build their team back up. And now it's been an ongoing phrase now since they drafted Embiid in 2014. And this is where we are now. It's just been the last 6 years. So they're kind of beating this phrase to death. I think it's almost a running joke at this point.
Okay, listen, I got to tell you, Dan, what's going on up here in Canada. You're expected to know the lines of the Winnipeg Jets and the Oilers and the defensive pairings of the Flames, not to mention the offensive line of the Buccaneers and the Chiefs. And it's a lot to keep your mind on. For me, anyways. for you know what I mean? So the nickname of Joel Embiid, sorry it slipped by me of what's going on with the Philadelphia 76ers. Todd Pinkney says, by the way, Philly is in a great position in all sports. Hart, Hurts, Harper, and Howard. Let's just talk about the Phillies for a second. Where are they going to fit in?
Well, they've acquired some bullpen help. That's been their Achilles heel over the past couple of years. But they just signed, how do you say his name, Real Muto, the catcher. He's arguably the best catcher in baseball. And they just signed into a big 5-year deal, I believe yesterday. I think it was yesterday. So that's something exciting. They didn't think they were going to have the cap space to hire him, but we're bringing him back. So, the Phillies are kind of an unknown. I mean, you have the superstar in Harper, but the bullpen and their pitching has been their problem. And if they don't get that fixed, it's going to continue to be the problem.
Okay, sounds good. And my last one, I encourage all of our viewers to download EnterPRIZE Sports. That's EnterPRIZE with a Z, or follow them on Instagram, because you do a live podcast on there, Instagram Live. And by the way, but I did my first ever on Saturday breaking down the Patrick Laine trade, and it works pretty dang slick. I mean, that's the way to go. Yeah, maybe we should just talk about the EnterPRIZE Sports podcast for a second before I bring up your most famous guest that you've ever had, and you know where I'm going with that. But just talk about your podcast, by the way.
Our podcast, yeah, you can find us on all networks. We cover just a little bit of everything. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, Twitter. You can find us basically anywhere, and we do just comedy, sports, sports interviews, sports skits. We're getting big on the TikTok, Rod. I don't know if you're in the TikTok world, but we're growing on that as well.
Well, I had TikTok. I deleted it because I got tired of teenage girls and Lululemon just bip-bopping to hip-hop songs. Is that what you do, Dan?
Yeah, we jump around and listen to hip-hop songs. Now, we do. We actually, we've been doing... We've been doing this thing called a Omegle, which we go and we put headsets on and basically just broadcast what people are doing in front of us. They are people we don't know; they're strangers, and it's actually taken off. So go look up EnterPRIZE Sports on TikTok. You're gonna laugh.
There you go. Now, you had supermodel Holly Sanders on like just last week, and we've been getting emails from her PR company about getting her on this show. By the way, because she's been on Fox Sports, and she's also famous for swimsuit modeling and all the rest. And watching you try and be serious and be Dan Rather doing that interview was probably the most entertaining thing of the year so far, Dan. How was it doing that Instagram Live with Holly Sanders? Please tell me.
It was very satisfying in a sense of we had kind of a beef, I would say, about a year and 3 months before that. So we actually just kind of made a post referencing her and Vegas Dave, if you're familiar with her ex, I think, boyfriend or fiance, whatever it was, Vegas Dave. And he was much shorter than her. And we made a post of Shaquille O'Neal standing next to Earl Boykins and kind of compared the two and said Shaquille was Holly Sanders, Earl Boykins was Vegas Dave. She didn't take a liking to it, and she kind of came at us about it. And I just responded with, I look forward to meeting you. Did I think I would end up meeting her a year and a half later? No, but it, it's funny how things kind of play out. And she was super cool about it, and she apologized for what she said. And yeah, we're all good. Maybe we'll get her on again.
I watched it with interest. And folks, you can go back and watch it on their Instagram page right now at EnterPRIZE Sports. So I think Dan's got a Jersey Shore episode to get ready for here. So good-looking guy there, Danny. Thank you for coming on, man, and keep in touch. All the best down there in Philly.
Absolutely, Rod. Thank you so much for having me again, guys.
You bet. Dan Seravalli joining us from the EnterPRIZE Sports Podcast. Are you all right over there? We got a camera guy in here just about fell over the couch. I saw that. What a day. CFL Report. I'm doing it again. We have a sponsor for it, and they tell me that I can't announce it yet. I don't know quite why. But anyways, breaking news today. The Hamilton Tiger Cats have re-signed quarterback Jeremiah Masoli. The 32-year-old Masoli started the first 6 games for the Ticats in 2019 before suffering a season-ending knee injury. Head coach Orlando Steinauer said in a statement, "It's exciting to have Jeremiah back for the 2021 season. He is an established natural leader that has a strong work ethic." Furthermore, more breaking news out of Calgary. Today, after 7 seasons, 93 regular season games, 10 postseason contests, and 2 Grey Cup championships as a member of the Calgary Stampeders, offensive lineman Shane Bergman has announced his retirement from the CFL. In a statement, Bergman said, "The time has come to close this exciting chapter of my life. I have been lucky enough to make a career playing a sport I love for the last 7 years, but all good things must come to an end. While I did plan to return for the 2020 season, COVID had other plans." COVID takes down another, but Shane Bergman is a Calgary Stampeders great. We salute him for a tremendous career. Ottawa Red Blacks have signed 4 players, including all-star punter Richie Leone. Red Blacks also signing defensive back Randall Evans, offensive lineman Mark Cordy, and receiver Anthony Coombs. Leone was named a CFL All-Star for a third time last season. He had a career-high 131 punts with the for the Ottawa Red Blacks, averaging 48.8 yards. And I got to say this again, wide receiver Martavius Bryant, who has not played in the NFL since 2018 because of an indefinite suspension for multiple drug policy violations, has signed with the Toronto Argonauts of the Canadian Football League. His last season in the NFL was in 2018 with the Oakland Raiders. He had 266 yards in 12 games. Played that season while under a year-long suspension for violating the NFL substance abuse policy. It was under appeal, so he was able to play. In 2019, he applied for reinstatement, but has not been reinstated by the NFL. But the CFL signed him. And I thought for years the rule was that the CFL wouldn't and couldn't sign players that were suspended in other leagues. But I think COVID has thrown all the rules out the window, and it's every man for himself. And I don't have anything against Martavius Bryant. Today is my 6-year sober birthday. I'm all for second, third, fourth, and fifth chances. I'm just wondering, what do we have rules for? Dupes will join us next. We got viewer takeover coming up, and I got to get to some messages here on the Prairie Mobile text line. You can reach us here in the bunker at 306-840-8777. That's 840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. You're watching the RP Show across North America on Game Plus television in all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
This right here is time well spent. Why not pour yourself a smooth Saskatchewan-made Original 16? Warm up to the opportunity to seize the day.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
An Original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Laid back and kicking it. Let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. We're jumping into viewer takeover for a second because I got some interesting text messages here. Moose DuPont's here.
Yeah.
You slid out during the Seravalli interview.
Slid back in.
Yeah. Like, what is going on around here today? Doors are slamming. Camera people are tripping over couches.
Let's start locking the door to the studio.
Just trying to do a live show here on national television. Don't worry about us. You just go about your business. Ray from the 6 writes in on the Prairie Mobile text line. Hi, Rod. Doug Pedersen did not turn into a buffoon in 3 years. I think the GM can take a lion's share of the blame. Fans in Philly at least have a Super Bowl. Be a Leafs fan. Nothing close to a championship since 1967. DuPont and I are very patient. I guess that would be a word to describe Leafs fans, eh? Patient.
Where do you think I get
I would have said suckers, but you'll take patience. Okay.
Yeah.
We're sprinkling our love all across the country today. Chuck from Winnipeg writes in and says, Pierre-Luc Dubois' father is the assistant coach of the Moose. Well, I think that's going to help. Can you just, I think we can say this word on national television. Read that text the way that it came into me, please.
Oh, sure. You want me to read it?
Read it. Read it. Say it.
Pierre-Luc Dubois' father is the ass
coach.
Period coach, assistant coach. He's the ass coach of the Moose. Chuck from the Peg.
What do you think I thought when I saw that at first?
I know. I was waiting for it to be like a donkey joke or something.
Right. John in Edmonton says Disney World is advocating to move the Olympics from Tokyo to Florida. Did you hear that, Rod? Because of the success of the NBA. No, my Tokyo Olympics insiders didn't inform me of that today. But it is in the sports update. So we have more hot news right off the press today. As insane as today has been, there's been a lot going on as well in sports. For instance, George Springer met with the Toronto media today. He says he's excited to be a part of a young, talented team like the Blue Jays, a club he believes has plenty of potential. The 3-time All-Star outfielder was introduced by the team today after signing a $150 million 6-year contract last week. Springer, one of the top players in this year's free agent class, put on a white Blue Jays uniform at the start of a video call with reporters saying he's extremely happy to be joining Toronto. The 31-year-old made his big league debut with Houston in 2014, spent 7 seasons with the team. It all sounds good, right?
Oh, yeah.
What I say, these are all like marriages, all smiling on picture day. More than half end in divorce. The Vancouver Canucks will try and ride the momentum of Monday's win over the Senators tonight when they host Ottawa for the second time in 3 days. Vancouver's offense came alive for a 7-1 victory last time out. It was Ottawa's 5th loss in a row. Chicago at Nashville is the only other game on tonight's schedule. The Raptors and Bucks meet for the first time this season tonight when Toronto hosts Milwaukee in one of 12 NBA games. The Raps are 5-3 at home in Tampa, Florida. And here you go for John in Edmonton. Organizers and the IOC are finally going public with their planning, hoping to push back against reports the Olympics will be canceled with Tokyo and much of Japan still under a state of emergency with the COVID-19 cases rising. The rule book that the IOC and Tokyo organizers are set to roll out next week will explain how 15,400 athletes and tens of thousands of others will try to safely enter Japan when the Olympics open in just under 6 months. So I would suggest, John in Edmonton, your report of moving to the Florida bubble is fake news.
I would agree with that. Probably fake news. But on the side of moving into the bubble, I think it would be similar to the World Juniors in Edmonton and Red Deer. They put it in Edmonton not because, I don't believe that they put it in Edmonton this year because it was supposed to be in Edmonton. I think they put it in Edmonton because that was the safe place that the NHL executed their bubble, and they had a blueprint. That's why they're going back to Edmonton and Red Deer. So just because if they do move it from Tokyo, they could go right back, and it wouldn't, but I like that they're still planning to roll it out overseas.
This sports update for the Tap Brew House and drive-through liquor store at the corner of Rochdale and Pasqua, and for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors. RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. Are we eligible to go for a break, guys? Let's do that and come back with overtime right after this. Thank you. It's the RP Show on Game Plus TV, live daily on YouTube, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Hey, it's Warren Dean. I understand more than anyone how changing weather affects your day, and that's no different for your vehicle. That's why I look to the experts at Suds Full Service Car Wash. They have a wide range of exterior washes, including Lava Shield with Towel Dry. Looking good, Natalie and Kirby. And don't forget their famous Suds Ultimate. Thoroughly cleans the interior of your car. Open Monday to Saturday. No appointment necessary. Head to Suds Full Service Car Wash today, where they treat you like family.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live. You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, Back to the studio with Rod.
And Moose Dupont and the entire gang. This entire tumultuous program. I think we have now left turbulence. You're now safe to return to your seat. That's what I think.
Yeah, and you think that the meal's going to get served and everything's going to be kosher, and now it's time to land.
Yeah, we're landing the plane here. The poll question today for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center is, what happens first? Which of these three options? The Atlantic Schooners play a game, the Leafs win a cup, or Bo Levi appears on the RP show? Things have really changed. What are they saying on Facebook, Darren?
Bo Levi is leading, but it's really a three-horse race.
It is on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
You people
I think
know something that I don't know.
I think that's what they want to see. They're not answering the question the right way, but, hey, they're getting romantic about what they'd want to see.
The question is, which of these things will happen first? Not what do you want to happen first. Yeah. But you're right, it's pretty much a dead heat. But listen, Charleston Hughes told me Saturday night that he's like, no, Bo hates you. He ain't coming on your show. Hurt my feelings so bad. It will be a monumental day when he does come on, and he will. Interesting point here from Brady in Saskatoon, writing us on the Prairie Mobile text line. He says, hey, Rod, I find it a joke that the Baseball Hall of Fame couldn't find players to induct based on their character. Isn't Hall of Fame based on their career? That's from Brady. You know what he's alluding to? Here's, for those that don't know, the Baseball Hall of Fame won't have any new players in the 2021 class after voters decided no one had the merits on the field or off for enshrinement in Cooperstown on this year's ballot. Curt Schilling was the closest in voting. The right-handed ace who won 3 World Series titles finished 16 votes short of the 75% threshold necessary. If he's not eligible to get in, what is? 3 World Series with 3 different teams, I might add.
I know.
I think baseball might be the most difficult Hall of Fame to get in. Am I right?
Yeah.
And hockey makes, with all due respect to our friends in Toronto, a lot of the inductees make no sense to me. And although as much as I love the Hall of Fame debate, it's my favorite. I loathe talking about draft classes and draft prospects. I loathe it. Primarily because I haven't seen these guys play, so I'd rather talk about the Hall of Fame debate. But the fact that Darren Fleury is not in the Hockey Hall of Fame is an absolute sham. And then you see the hockey pundits, forget about the voting people, you see the pundits, the media saying, well, there's a stigma around Theo. Well, how do you think that's sitting with me? Oh, a child sexual abuse survivor? He's not good enough for your Hall of Fame? Don't want to be in it. Although Theo does, and it bothers him that there's a stigma around him because he had addiction issues. See how much I could have gotten triggered there, but I didn't.
You know how you get over that stigma. Let them in the hall and acknowledge that we can get past the stigma.
And that's the point.
The stigma won't be there.
So the Football Halls of Fame, if you didn't let in anybody who used steroids, it'd be a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And with baseball, they're not letting guys in that use steroids. Where do we draw the line on what's acceptable and what's not? As one of the Sutters told to me, and I won't say which one, but he said to me, Hall of Fame's full of guys I wouldn't let walk my grandkid across the street. So who is going to be the moral authority here on who gets in and who doesn't based on using steroids? It's a pretty good all-star team of guys that aren't allowed to get in there.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Roger Clemens should be in. Mark McGuire, obviously. Barry Bonds. Other sports don't have a problem with it, guys.
It becomes an issue of credibility for the Hall of Fame, too, right? If it's only about the good guys of baseball, then you end up with a WCW, NWO thing, right? Is it more legit for the, you start recognizing these guys and the Hall of Fame doesn't matter as much because we make up in our mind that Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, Sammy, these guys are legends of the game.
Clark's asking, is this a face-off segment? What are we facing off about? Apparently it is.
It's
there you go.
Us against the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, so we're together. We're taking the draw together for the first time ever.
Yeah, I'm the winger coming in to help out.
Mick Panko, one of the viewers, says there are piles of guys in the hall who have less publicized addiction issues. The generation Theo played in an era things made so much more public. Jeff, the Stampeders fan, says Fleury not in the hall is probably similar to Bo not being on your show. It's about contrition and sincerity. I'm going to, again, back off from the ledge and not get triggered. What are you saying? Theo's not contrite and he's not sincere? Have I missed something? It's become a very good friend of mine. Theo's sitting there going, what more do I need to do? I got sober. I've apologized. I'm helping other people. What more does Theo need to do? I may have misjudged what you're saying, and I hope that I have. Well, the Alberta people are really alive.
Oh, yeah.
Jack in Vulcan, Alberta. Let those among you without sin cast the first stone. Oh, yeah. Hall of Fame's going to wag their finger at who can get in and who can't based on steroids. Oh, okay. We all know the records don't mean anything anyways that they broke. Roger Maris. The records were broken? Why did they allow that? Right? Who gets to decide? Are we saying put him in the hall or not put him in the hall?
I'm
what are we saying?
Put him in the hall.
So am I.
You can recognize him in a wing of the hall of steroid users.
Sure.
But put them in the hall.
Give them their own wing. Sponsored by Pfizer. Corey DeTavio says it's too cold in Manitoba. We can't think today. See? Must be warmer in Alberta. Anyways, listen, the face-off is brought to you, as always, by the Mad Greek Restaurant in Moose Jaw, available for licensed dining, takeout, or delivery. Head to themadgreekeatery.com. And for Ultimate Fan Zone Moose Jaw, your one-stop shop for the sports fans on your list. And I should mention in the time that we have left that Kinsman Telemiracle 50/50 is live. For all you Saskies out there, I don't need to tell you what Telemiracle means to this province. Telemiracle5050.ca, where you can purchase your tickets. Just go there now. Got to be 19 years of age or over and physically in the province of Saskatchewan. So get your peeps here in the rectangle to buy your tickets for you. And the announcement of the winner will be on February the 27th. That is for Telemiracle 45.
Yeah.
We're good.
We're good.
All right, going to be talking a lot of hockey tomorrow on the program. I want to thank Brian Boucher today from the NHL and NBC, Dan Seravalli, and most of all, you. Thanks for putting up with us and the zany hijinks that come along with this show on a daily basis. And we'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central on Facebook Live and noon Eastern right here on Game Plus. So I punched him.
Of course you did.